Fresh is all my initials. So this is the second video I'm doing. So I'm going to explain what I'm going to be doing tonight in relation to the game in terms of development. I'm going to post some pictures up of what I've done so far for the first map. I'm quite proud of it. You know, there's one bit I've kind of considered complete-ish. So I'm going to post some pictures up of that, just to give you a general feel of what I'm trying to go for in the game. So what I'm doing tonight is working on the skill animations for Solomon, one of the main characters, and doing all the offhand weapons. The way I've done the weapon system is a lot like Guild Wars 2, because that's an amazing game. In that, it started off as a completely different thing, and then I found out it doesn't work the way I wanted it to. I despaired, and then we came up with a solution. The way I wanted it to work was, I wanted basically Tostig, who's a raider. I'll explain the whole universe in probably a whole different video, because I have a Tolkien-like imagination to my worlds and want to draw maps and so Tostig, he has he can wield pistol, axe, and a claw in his main hand and offhand. Solomon can wield a sword, a rapier, and a bow. It was originally sword, rapier, and dagger, but I wanted Solomon to have a ranged weapon like Tostig does with the guns. So what originally the skill system was going to be was you would have your main hand skills. So axe has chop, double chop, throw axe, another one I can't remember, cleave, and your the offhand axe would have boomerang axe, leaping chop, and if it's I don't know. So four your main hand, 3 on your offhand, and then because the way the RPGVX skill system works is that at the bottom it says required weapons, weapon 1, weapon 2. I didn't read that and mistakenly thought it meant you would require axe in your weapon 1 slot and axe in your weapon 2 slot. If you get what I mean. So I had the offhand weapon skills listed as weapon 2 axe, and the main hand ones weapon 1 axe, and then I created dual skills based on what you were wielding in terms of dual wielding. So axe had whirling chop. The dual skills were BAMF essentially. Axe claw had if you threw the axe and uppercut someone with the claw. That's basically going off the skill animation. So when I tested out that system, it turns out it doesn't work. Which really, I was 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was going, oh, it doesn't work. About 10 minutes later, I came up with a solution. I sort of salvaged. I lost the dual skills, which was quite sad because I quite liked a lot of them, especially Maul, which was a dual claw skill. The animation of that was one of my favourites. So I lost the dual skills, but I was able to, by renaming the shield slot to offhand and taking away the dual wield parameter on the classes, so they can wield a shield. And oh, fuck, that's my cat. Bear with me. Right, where was I? Yeah, by renaming shield to offhand and then taking away the dual parameter, which stopped you from using the shield, I was able to. I'm creating offhand weapons that go in the tabs in terms of the database. It goes weapons to 324 weapons. No way, it's not that variety. It's not that much variety. And then there's going to be the offhand weapons that just go into your shield slot. They're listed as a shield type thing. I tested it out, and I was able to keep the main hand skills and the offhand skills through some very clever. I'd say it's clever. Through some very clever. Basically, a main hand axe will unlock the main hand axe skills, but a seal, main hand claw, and main hand gun. an offhand axe would add the offhand axe skills and seal offhand claw and offhand gun, etc. Offhand claw would allow offhand claw skills and seal offhand axe and gun, etc. So that's the way I have the skill system worked out. You can see water shield. I'm making shields pretty high in the defensive because I want it to be in your offhand. You can either be highly defensive or have very powerful attack skills. To salvage the sort of dual skill system, what I've done is I'm going to create legendary weapons, one for each type of weapon, so axe, claw, gun, sword, rapier, bow, which are basically going to have their own skill attached to them, which is going to be a BAMF skill. That's just going to use so much power. I wanted it to be, you've worked hard for this weapon, here's your amazing skill to kill damn near everything. Finding the because what I did foolishly was when I started making when I was halfway through making the game, I realised that I wanted to do the whole open world thing, so everything I did was kind of void. I decided to go, deleted all the skills, deleted all the pre-built animations, deleted all the armors, weapons, everything, and decided to make it myself. Which worked in that I was able to make them myself, also didn't work because I didn't know how to make them myself. So with the skills I'm having trouble, I originally had trouble kind of figuring out the formulas, what counts as quite powerful and what doesn't. And when I was doing a battle test to show my friend Liam how the battles would work, Tostig skill Boomerang Axe, which I originally had as hits all enemies. Basically what he does is just throws his axe and it turned out to kill everything because I made it a bit too powerful. So I kind of toned down I take it down to 2 random enemies. So that's what I'm going to be doing tonight, mainly skills and skill animations. The skills are done. The skills are done. It's just the skill animations I've got to do. That's for Tostig and Solomon. The way I'm doing this is that Tostig and Solomon are going to be the 2 main characters. You're always controlling them pretty much, unless say story provides. More on that later. You are going to have a 3rd character with you for each continent you're in. So in the first area, Detri's Kingdom, or land, I can't decide whether it's Kingdom or land, you will have Solomon's mentor, who taught him everything, kind of going with you. Once you go into the next continent, you're going to have someone else. I wanted to, because I'm not really offering variety in the class-wise factor, Solomon's always going to be a Shadow Soldier, Tostig's always going to be a Raider, there's no changing that. I wanted to offer as much variety as possible in terms of weapons, skills, how they work. How they work, and also to have the 3rd character that changes in every continent, just to give slightly more variety than. To give some variety to what is lacking in the class department. Because the way I'm doing it, this is a very story-orientated RPG. I wanted it to be, Tostig would never be a mage. That's just that. Mainly because mages are a dying breed. That's that. He just wouldn't be. That's not him. So I wanted it to have Tostig's a raider. That's what he does. He has his airship. He flies off. He raids places. Essentially, quite a Viking. They're quite Viking-orientated people, but quite high class. He's a raider. He will always be a raider. That's what he does. So I figured out that raiders don't have the claws. They help them climbing because they live on a floaty rock place. They'll have the guns for distance and axes. Those are the 3 weapons that Tostig can use. Solomon, however, I found a bit more tricky because again he used to be an agent for his previous queen, so I wanted him to have daggers. He was initially going to have, like I said, sword, rapier, daggers, rapier to kind of show his royal ties, quite a fancy weapon. Sword, cookie cutter, everyone uses a sword, raiders, and dagger to highlight his agent-like experience. But it was when I was making the skills before rapier, and I was kind of looking at dagger going, I can't make this work. I was going to have it as the kind of coated in poison and whatnot. I just thought there's no way I'll be able to make this. I don't want to force a sword weapon. For that, and for the fact, as a story point of view, when Solomon gets corrupted by the shadow energy at the start of the game, I want it to be that he's lost everything. He's completely different. He's a completely different person because it's just changed him. So I didn't want him to use daggers because that was something he was used to. That was something efficient in. Hand him a pair of daggers, he'll slice you through it before you can get to him, sort of deal. So I wanted to take daggers away from him and give him a bow, something that he might have had training in, but he wouldn't be as comfortable with them as he would with daggers. So that's another reason why I took them away. So skills, skill animations, weapons, which is going to take the offhand weapons, which is going to take me quite a while. I don't know if I'll get that done. If I won't get that done tonight, that'll probably take me a few days, because the drudgery will start setting in after the first 100, and I'll be like, oh, I've got to do something else. So I'll be doing the map. The map is coming. Quite well. The problem I've had with the map so far is I'm good at the large scale. Kind of look at it, you kind of zoom out and go, oh look, there's that landmarks. I'm good at doing the landmarks, and then when you zoom in, like I explained in my last video, this is so much longer than the last video. By the way, there's so much I just want to talk about. Crylasis, Chrysal, that game, the amazing game Crylasis, Chrysalis, whatever it's called. And when I looked at the map design on that, it blew my mind. So much better than I had at the time. So I kind of zoomed in with the 1+1. I went, okay, I've got to make this look at every screen possible to look amazing. So I've done that so far with the Nomad camp to the northeast. Sorry. I made it quite a hilly sort of journey, and I've been using that to my advantage to kind of, have the hills separate, upstairs, down, sort of thing. So I've been able to focus on different areas or smaller areas on hilly type things. So it makes it a lot easier for me to just ease my way into the more detailed mapping. That's the main thing I'm going to have trouble with, is that if I release the first continent of this and people go, Steve, your mapping skills are rubbish, I'll completely accept that. Mapping, this is not one of my strengths. But I still have to, I just still one of those things I have to do. What else will I be doing tonight with the game? Mapping, skills, skill animations, weapons, regioning, really. I guess it counts as mapping. Just kind of. Last night I downloaded the DS resource packs, the 2 music packs. Something else? Oh, and the RPG 3 for the PlayStation 2 music pack. Just offer a bit of variety and have a look. Just basically have a look-see. So I'm gonna, just sorting out the various tunes for the different areas. So music-wise, I have been talking about the idea of buying my own music software and playing with that. One, that'd be a huge waste of money, and two, it would probably be awful. I'd rather have this game just to be built, and then once I gain a bit more confidence in that whole area, then maybe go into the music making side of it all. One step at a time. I think that's it. I think that's all I'm really doing. The story for the first continent is pretty much sorted out. I don't know if we're looking now. This video is already reaching 14 minutes. Probably take me far too. I will probably have to do it in a separate video. One idea I've been toying around with is having a video dedicated to saying, this is Solomon, explaining Solomon. This is the dust egg, and this is to the whole continent. Doing it now, or just having it as one big information sort of deal. Yeah, that's it about mapping skills, skill animations. I'm hoping to get the the number side of it, like the skills and the skill animations and the weapons, sorted out before I get the map done. So then it's just done. Once that's sorted, then that's sorted for the rest of the game. It's not going to change much unless it has to. So yeah, I'm hoping to get that done quite really soon. I just keep putting it off, keep on looking at it, going, oh, do the map. That's about it. Yeah, so I still haven't thought of a name for this game yet. Still bug it. I can't think of anything. I want something catchy, something something that'll just grab the attention and can be shortened for convenience. So right now it's just under Project F.A.R. theming stuff. God. So yes, feedback and such. Like I said, I'm going to take some pictures and I'll post them on the blog post that this is going to be. Yeah, I'll probably post. They're going to be on the blog, but I don't know if I'm going to do it as with the blog post that this video is going to be with, or as a separate blog post. I might do the separate blog post just for sheer convenience. So yeah, it's alright guys, I shall do another video tomorrow where I'll be by my friend's house who's been helping me. This is Liam, who's been helping me out so much with this game, coming up with ideas. Yeah, so that's it. Ta-ra!